All right, so another thing we need to talk about today is who you are after the high, who you are after the victory, who you are after something finally goes your way. So we have to take this seriously because you can really ruin it for yourself if you're not careful. If you are the way I was, and you're not used to being successful, and you're not used to having things go your way, and you're not used to things actually working out for you, because I spent most of my adult life feeling that way, there's a certain mindset you're going to have, and this is natural. You know, it's as shitty as it is natural. But a lot of times when you have a little taste of victory, or you reach a milestone, or you reach a goal, or something that just happens, especially if it's something that you didn't plan, and especially if it's something that that just kind of happened for you, that you might have been working towards, maybe not, but you know, something just like went really well for you and might have surprised you. If it's something that you're hoping happens more than once, you might be thinking to yourself, wow, this is great, but you know, what if this doesn't happen again? Or what if I start going backwards tomorrow? Or what if this isn't, you know, all that I think it is, or whatever. Somebody's popping into my head right now who is feeling that way, and now I understand why she does what she does. I just realized that. She just came into my mind because it's her that's feeling this way. All right, so now I know. But anyway, so and what I want you to understand is that first you have to convince yourself, well, yeah, I'm going to say this. You have to convince yourself that you are worth what you're trying to achieve. People don't realize that. They don't think that they're worth what they're trying to achieve. If you are trying to start your own business, I'm going to get to the narcissist thing in a second. That's in here. If you're trying to start your own business, if you're trying to sell something to make money, if you're trying to go to school for something, if you're trying to work out and learn how to be a personal trainer and be a gym bunny, if you're whatever your goal is, if you don't believe deep down in your fibers that you deserve that outcome for your life, if you do make it there, you're only going to enjoy it for about 3 seconds, and then you're going to say, oh wait, now how do I make this happen again? Or how do I keep this up? Or can I keep this up? Can I compete with myself? You know, is this going to work out? How do I do this again? Well, this is great, but what if it doesn't work out forever? Or this is great, but what if I start going backwards? You know, what if I can't keep up? You know, that, you have to stop that. You have to stop doing that. You have to stop doing that. Because every time because you're so accustomed to shitting on yourself, and you're so accustomed to squashing yourself, and this applies to men too. In my videos, I'm talking to women because that's who I help, but there's men that feel this way too. You're so used to crushing yourself for fear of getting your hopes up about something that, you know, may not work out because nothing else has. And I'm talking about myself, by the way. I did this all my life up until maybe the past couple of years. But I'm talking about me. So if any of this sounds familiar, it's because we're vibing. So you are so used to being crushed under pressure and darkness, and you not being allowed to budge, and not being allowed to hope, and not being allowed to look forward to anything and stuff like that, because everything has been either taken from you, the rug has been pulled out from under you, your legs have been knocked out from under you, whatever you want to say. You know, shit has just been thrown in your face, and you're so accustomed to that you stay in that mindset where you can't accomplish anything, or you're too afraid to hope, or if something good does happen, that, you know, you better not get too wrapped up in it because, you know, God forbid, and you're stuck in that. And the programming is so deep that it sounds stupid to start telling yourself something different. It sounds dumb if you start telling yourself, you know what, I'm going to be successful, and I'm going to be able to maintain it, and I'm going to be able to keep it. And it does. It sounds dumb for somebody that has like never felt that way, or never been allowed to feel that way. But you have to cut yourself a break, and I highly suggest this has been suggested that I do this, and I'm starting to think I should. I don't know if I would be good at it, but I'm thinking I should at least try it, is to like put out some meditations to help with this, because this is a big deal. And changing your life due to your mindset is easy to do. It can be done. It can be done. But you have to try. You have to try, and you have to keep at it. It's not like a one and done. You have to keep doing it. You put in the effort, you put in the work, you put in the investment. The more you invest, the more you get back. And I invest in myself constantly. I don't just take classes or whatever, like I do, but I invest in my emotional health. Today, actually, at 10 o'clock, and I've never done this before, but I said to hell with it. I'm going to do the quantum healing hypnosis technique. This lady is going to get on Zoom with me at 10. Her name's Julie. She's in, I think, Kansas or Oklahoma. And we're going to do this hypnosis thing. And I've already picked the 3 things that I want to hash out. And it's going to be an hour and a half. And I'm ready. For whatever it is, I'm ready. And because I want to improve upon myself, and I want to improve upon the things that I know are in my way. And there's 3 things in my subconscious that need to go, and I know what they are. And I told her about it. So I'm constantly trying to do better, and I'm constantly trying to like level up myself so that I can, be there for my clients and help them even more. The better I am, the better they'll be. And so I'm always working on myself and doing things and trying to do better so that I can do better for them. And that's the whole point. If I can help them and do better for them, I'm so much more satisfied with my work, and I'm so much more satisfied with what I've done, and I'm so much more happier about their progress, because the farther I can go, the farther they can go. So we go together. We level up together. You see what I mean? It's a group effort. It's a group thing. And but I make the first move because I have to, but I want to. So it's not, it's not grueling for me. It's a learning journey, and it's a learning experience, and I like it because I want to understand myself and on every level that I possibly can, so that I can work things out. You know what I mean? The better I work it out myself, the better example I can set for the rest of them. So I do put effort into that. And after I do the quantum healing video, I'm gonna do a video on it. I think she said she's gonna record it. If she records it, I'm tempted to upload it. We'll see what happens. I don't know if I'm ready for that, but we'll see what happens. But I'm gonna at least talk about it nonetheless. So we'll see. But I kind of want to upload it. But anyway, so your mindset when something good happens. I want you to start doing meditation techniques like manifestation stuff. If you follow, I'm telling you who really has helped me out. If you follow Manifestation Babe, that girl, Catherine Zenkina, I think she lives in California or something, or Nevada, or somewhere out there. If you follow her right now, she's doing a special on her website, and it's $11.11. And it's a set of manifestation meditations. I haven't even listened to all of them yet because they're so good. I haven't even gotten through because I'm like marinating with each one. But her meditations are real fucking good. And if you've got $11 to spare, get on a Manifestation Babe's website and get the, I think she's calling it the something bundle. I can't remember. I'm sorry. But there's 5 meditations and it's $11. Get on there and get them. She's not paying me for this. I'm just telling you she's good. She's really good. I've done her stuff before. She knows her shit. So try that. But the meditations where you imagine yourself in a life that you want. And you have to be very specific about it. Don't fool around. Be very specific and be real with yourself. And I don't mean don't aim too high. That's not what I mean. Be honest with yourself about what you want. Say what you want. You want to live in a mansion. You want to live in a, $500,000 home or whatever. If that's your dream life, then, Imagine that. Imagine it. And you picture yourself in that house. All the turns, all the bedrooms, all the hallways, all the, the toilets, the fucking whatever, the kitchen. How's it decorated? What color are the walls? Are there dogs running around? Are your children running around? Who else is there? Your best friend lives with you. Okay, great. What are you doing? You run your business out of there. You have parties with your friends every weekend. Everybody comes to your house because it's the cool house. Everything about your life that you want that would be like a dream. Imagine that shit. Just imagine it. And you start to vibrationally, if that's a word, I guess it is now, align with that shit. And you will align with it. Because you should see some of the shit I've aligned with already. Like, I haven't moved into my dream house yet, but that's to come. That is to come. I am in the process of working on that. And I used to think that I had like big goals and that was a big deal, like having my own house and shit without having to get married was what I mean. Because I'm not doing that. I'm not going to do that to save myself, or you know what I mean? Like, I don't need that. I want my shit to be mine because I worked for it. Do you see what I'm saying? So call it pride, but I want it to be mine because I worked for it, not because I married somebody who like was nice and gave it to me. I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna do that. But so imagine your dream life and what that feels like. Imagine what it feels like. People don't talk about that. They forget that. They'll say, well, just imagine your dream life and work towards that. But what they don't talk about is how that would feel, how that life would feel. Picture yourself in that situation and you say, okay, and how do I feel in that moment? Calm, content, joyful, luxurious, satisfied, full, blissful, whatever it is, and you maintain that feeling. And every day you do that damn meditation until you start getting what you want. And you do the meditation and you also work towards it. You don't just imagine it and it appears. You have to do the work. But it's a lot more practical for you, and it'll be a lot more of a practical dream for you if you are imagining it and you're also taking the steps to work towards it. It aligns much, much better if you actually give enough of a damn to just try to do it. So that way, along the journey, when you make your progress like this, you start to see that you do in fact deserve that good thing that you are wishing for. The car, the farm, the big house in the country, whatever, a big business in the city, whatever it is that you've got your heart set on, that will become more of a practical dream to have for you if you start working towards it and you see that you do deserve it, because you can take the steps little by little. You take little steps every day, you're still making progress. I don't care what it is. Trying to build a savings account, I don't care if all you do is put pocket change in a jar somewhere. It's still a savings account. Don't downplay what you're doing. Don't do that, because that's part of what's hurting you too, is you'll do something and you'll think, oh, well, this isn't really a big deal. There's people that have done way more than me, so that's out. That's out. We're not doing that anymore. That's bullshit. It's a bullshit way to live. Because I used to kill myself with that. I used to destroy myself with that shit. Oh, well, I'm not really a big deal, but thanks. No, you are a big deal. You are a big deal. And the shit you do matters. It matters. Because if it didn't, you wouldn't fucking be here. You would have never been born if it didn't matter. It makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? So, you have to start... It's willpower. You have to start making yourself think differently, and you reprogram your whole damn brain, your physiology and all that shit. The neuroprogramming and the fucking neurons and shit start connecting or whatever. That you need that, because you can't. There's no use in living your life if you're going to sit there and say, well, I'm not really a big deal. I don't know. It's not a big deal if I make it or not. That's not. There's no reason to live if you're going to do that. And if you have children and they're watching you do that, they're either going to copy you or they're going to, do way better than you and just feel sorry for you when you're old. I don't want either of those for you. I want you to taste success. I want you to taste it, to feel it, to be it. and there's no reason not to. You're a human being and your life matters. There's no reason for you to not have that. There's no reason for you to not have that. Who in your childhood trained you to think that you couldn't have that dream? Somebody's responsible for that. Somebody fucked that up for you. Don't worry about it now. So fuck them. Just fuck them. But the ball is in your court now because you're grown and you can kind of do what you want to an extent. When it comes to building your life, you can do what you fucking want. But I highly suggest the meditations. If you don't want to go through her, I guess I should put some together, because somebody said it to me and I was like, you know what? It's a good idea. A long time ago I thought about it and I was like, nah, I won't be good at that. But I'm starting to think, after everything I've heard, I'm starting to think I could probably pull it off too. And I may do some, I don't like how my voice sounds. That's why I haven't done them. I don't like my voice, but but we'll see. I just won't listen to them. But we'll see what happens. I'll see if I can come up with something good that I'm satisfied with. Of course, that means I'd have to listen to it, but if I can come up with something I'm satisfied with, I'll think about it. If you need help with that, reach out to me. If you don't want manifestation babe or whatever, there's a couple other people I go through, so I'll point you in the right direction. I just got to dig up the links, but I got them. So anyway, but you have to really start making the moves to make that a reality. As you see that with the moves you make, that becomes that comes closer and closer to being part of your actual life, you'll see that you deserve it because you're actually doing steps that are making it happen. Let's say, you want to buy a house or whatever, you gotta pay off your debts first. Fix your credit score. Little by little, every month, if you can swing it, if you gotta go to the bank and figure it out, do that. You can do what I did. I got the self-lender app. It's just called Self when you download it. I think it's blue. I think the thing is blue. But you download that and you tell them how much you can pay per month or whatever, and they put it on your credit score, and it brings it up because you're making payments. But at the end of the payments, when you're done and you've done it all, they give that money back to you, minus like a little percentage, because they charge a little tiny bit of interest and they keep the interest. But you get your loan back. So it's like it was your money to start with. They're just using it to fix your numbers, and then they give it back to you at the end. So I'm due some money in September. I'm excited. But I'm doing that to fix my credit score because I gotta do it. So but I'm doing the steps to get closer to that, which means it's gonna become more and more of a reality. I'm ready to do it. I'm willing to do that work and make that promise. I can do that. So anything that you can do to add to your portfolio of shit that you have accomplished or that you can accomplish, do it. Make it a reality. It's not that far away. You've been taught that it is. You've been taught not to aim high. That doesn't mean that you should really be that way. So now, once you get to your goal, once you hit your milestone or whatever you want to call it, and you start and you feel like $1 million, you feel you're just buzzing, okay, that's great. What you have got to do, if you want to keep up the milestone shit, you have got to keep the buzz feeling. And by keep it, I mean marinate in that shit. And by marinate in it, I mean appreciate yourself and the effort that you've put into it. Appreciate that shit. Thank yourself. Pat yourself on the back for the work you did and for whatever it took to get there. Even if it was like a windfall or something and like you don't know how it happened or whatever, it's just like a lucky stroke, just be grateful for it. Be grateful to whoever you think might have been involved, and just marinate in the gratitude and just be glad for it and be okay with it and align yourself with that shit. If you can align yourself with it and say, you know what, this is good. This is good. This is really good. And just like accept it as part of your reality. Accepting it as part of your reality and letting it mesh with your reality in your mind and just taking it for what it is and just soaking it in and just letting it like become part of you, like in your mind, and taking it as your new reality, that will help you move towards bigger and better, because you have to be okay with where you are before you can be okay with the next level. You have to be okay with where you are right now, and that whatever that is, you've got to accept it. Just like in the video where I said accepting your situation with a narcissist. Before you can solve any shit with that clown, you've got to accept that you were bamboozled. You have to accept that you were hoodwinked. You were blindsided. They made a fool of you. They made you look stupid. They've done it to me too. I know how that feels. But you have to make your peace with that and say, you know what, yeah, got my ass handed to me. Shit happens. And make your peace with that and say, you know what, yeah, this is the reality. But after you do that, you can see it for what it really is, and you're no longer wearing the blinders. And you can see it for what it really is, and you can say, you know what, all right, so what do I need to do? And then you can start thinking about it logically, instead of letting guilt and shit like that get in the way. So, you know what I mean? So you just have to do it. Because the longer you sit there and say, no, this isn't, no, that's not going to cut it anymore. That kind of lifestyle, that's what you've been doing maybe, and not like giving yourself credit for shit and things like that. You've been doing that, but it's time to stop. If something good happens, whether you busted your ass for it or not, you still deserved it. There was some part of you that deserved it, so you got it anyway. So just take it. Just accept it. Even if you sell something and you only make like $100 or $1,000 or whatever, if that's a low number for you, accept it. Just be like, all right, yeah, this is fine, and be okay with that. Be okay with it. And then once you sink into that and you're okay with that and you're accepting that from the universe or your spirit guides or your ancestors or whoever, you accept that gift and you're like, all right, no, this is good. I'm good with this. After that, it'll be time to bounce up to the next one. But you've got to be all right with where you are. If you're not okay with where you are, how do you expect to go anywhere else? So, and that's just part of it. But once you accept what you're doing in the moment and accept what's happening in the moment, you can just say, you know what, yeah, this is my building block. This is fine. This is my building block. It's okay. I'm building right now. I'm in the process of building. When you go past a construction site and you see them all out there fucking around, with bricks and shit, you don't laugh at them because the building's not done. They're in the process of it. And the manager who's in charge of the site and the people who want to, take part in shopping there in that place of business once the building is done or whatever, all those people who are involved have to accept that that's the point that it's at right now. That's where it is right now. That's the progress that it's made right now. They have to accept that. You go out there every day and you look at it and you're like, all right, this is how far they got. And you just have to accept it because that's what it is. Once you accept that that's how far they've gotten with the building, you'll be okay with them finishing up what they're doing and then going to the next step. So you wouldn't put that kind of pressure on yourself. I mean, sorry, I said that wrong. You wouldn't ridicule them for not like snapping their fingers and being done with it. They have to accept every step of the way so they can do the next step. They can't just like sit there and stamp their feet like a toddler just because it's not done yet. They got to do the work every step of the way. They have to accept where they are. So why wouldn't you do that for yourself? So your little rules and stuff that you apply to yourself that you don't apply to everybody else, it's time to start doing away with some of that, because that's not getting you anywhere. So be okay with what you're doing now, and then that in turn will get you to where you want to go. And I've had to learn that lesson many times. I've had to sit down with myself and have that talk. So don't feel bad about it. Like, every now and then I still do, because I'm eager to get to where I want to be. And, I'm always thinking to myself, yeah, I'm ready for the next thing, but am I okay with the way everything is at the moment? And So I constantly keep myself in check with that. Now, when it comes to the narcissist and dealing with them, this is where it's relevant. If you, like I said, the first step you've got to do is accept your situation for what it is. It's a reality. They lied to you and they built this fantasy world for the two of y'all, and it's not true. It's bullshit. And you have to make your peace with that, with the fact that it's bullshit, and with the fact that it's not what you thought it was, and it's never going to be what you thought it was. It'll never be real. It'll never be what you think. It'll never be what they've advertised. It's just not going to. So you have to be okay with that. That in itself is a milestone. That in itself is a milestone, because accepting the situation for what it is a huge step, because it's difficult. It's difficult to sit there with yourself and say, you know what? Yeah, I was fooled. I look real stupid right now. You don't look stupid. I don't think you look stupid, but it's like, that's how it feels. And you have to sit there and say, you know what? Yeah, I thought it was going to be different, and I'm realizing it's not. And you just have to take it for what it is. Once you do that, you can start doing shit to get yourself out of there. If this is somebody you're living with, you can do whatever you gotta do. Start putting money aside. Start asking around to see who you can stay with in an emergency. Start looking around for your own place to live. What have you. And once you once you cross that off your list, you can sit down with yourself and say, you know what, I reached a goal today. I accomplished this. I found a place to live. I started a savings account or whatever it is. I transferred most of my stuff to a storage unit, so that when I do have to get out of here, I can just pack 2 suitcases and fucking go, or whatever it is. Or if you want to talk about mental stuff, you can say, you can like practice playing the narcissist game just in order to keep the peace while you're in the process of getting out of there. They're gonna, because they want everything to go their way all the time. So if you're accustomed to what they do and their habits and their idiosyncrasies and shit like that, you know what they're like, you know what they expect, you know what will make it easy. Just to take the heat off of you, and to make it to where there's no suspicion, and to make it to where they don't see it coming, and they can't prepare for it, and therefore can't stop you or get in your way or thwart it or fuck it up somehow. You keep your shit quiet, and you do what they want, to an extent at least, just enough to keep the peace and to keep things to where they don't know what's going on behind closed doors. Do what you got to do to keep things kind of running smoothly, because you know what to do. You know what they're like. And just, play the fucking game a little bit until it's time to go. You've come this far. You've come this far. So it's not like you can't keep doing it for a few more months. Do you know what I mean? Or however long it's going to take you. You've come this far with it. But except from now on, you don't suffer with it. You just play the game. Because in the back of your mind, you've got a whole other fucking thing going on. And so long as you don't say it out loud, you're good. You see what I mean? So you have the upper hand. You've had the upper hand the entire time. But you don't know that because the son of a bitch is trying to teach you that you don't. And that they, rule the roost, and they're going to run the fucking show. Let them think they're running the fucking show. Let him think he's in charge. Just let him think he's in charge. I know you have to swallow your pride. I've had to do it too many times, but sometimes you just got to stoop to conquer. You just got to do it. So, but don't worry about all that, because you can do all that shit now, the stoop to conquer shit. You can do all that now and play the little fucking game and put on the airs and graces and whatever the fuck it requires. Okay, you know how this person operates. You know what they want. Do all that shit. Do all the acting, whatever the fuck, just to get through it. Because by the end of it, you're going to be on top, because you're going to have your fucking freedom and your life back, and your identity and your sovereignty and your body is going to be yours again, and your life and your money and all your shit, your belongings, your space that you live in is all going to be yours again. So you know that just in a matter of months, you're going to be on top. You're going to be on top of the whole thing. So it's not going to matter what you have to do right now. You see what I mean? That I'm a big believer. Everybody won't tell you this, but I will, because this is how I operate. I'm a big believer in the ends justify the means. And for those of you who don't know, what that means is the end goal is important enough that I'm allowed to do whatever I got to do right now to get there. Do you see what I mean? This sounds conniving, but let's say, no, it doesn't. Hang on. If you have like no resume or whatever, or a shitty resume, and you go to, one of those places called temp agencies, and they want to set you up, and there's a job available that's like you've never done before, or sounds a little bit too highfalutin for you, or like, it's too much of a lofty idea, or you're not sure you can do that, or whatever. Those temp agencies going to be like, no, we got you, hang on. And they're going to tweak your resume just a little tiny bit, just a little bit, just to make you look good enough to get in the door. You see what I mean? The ends justify the means. The ends was that you needed the job, and they figured you would line up well enough with that one. And the means was them polishing up your resume a bit to make sure you got in the door. So the ends justify the means. So I believe in that. Because when a person is in a situation, they can learn how to do things. You can get in it. Because when you go to a new job, they're going to train your ass anyway. So it's like, why does it matter? Especially when you go through a temp agency, you pretty much going to get hired, period. Because the people that use temp agencies are so desperate for workers that, no offense, don't take it the wrong way, but they're so desperate to fill those positions, they don't give a fuck sometimes. Like, they just don't. You're probably going to be just fine. But that's what I mean. So, I'm just telling you how it works. Like, that is how it is. Because I went through a temp agency too, like, because I was like running out of ideas, and I needed something that paid more than fucking minimum wage. But anyway, another story for another time. But so while you're planning this, splitting from the narcissist and getting away from them, you keep in the back of your mind that you keep reminding yourself, no, this is fine. This is fine. I've got a big plan. I've got an end goal. By the end of this, I'm going to be on top, and you're going to be sitting there crying all by yourself, and no one's going to care. So I'm going to win in about 3 months, 6 months, whatever. However long it's going to take you to get what you need. But you're going to be the winner at the end. So it's like, don't worry about it. Just do what you got to do. But every step of the way, you accept the situation and have your little backup plan in the back of your mind, and just take it one step at a time and accept it one step at a time. And as you accept each step that you do, and you're okay with it, and you hold that energy, and you keep that vibe, and you keep that success with you, instead of saying, like, you might play the narcissist game for a little while because you're working on getting out, right? And then let's say your birthday's coming up or whatever, and they give you a bunch of money for your birthday, and you didn't expect it, or something like that. Accept that. That's a milestone. It was a goal that you may not have set, but it's still a milestone. It's still a victory. It's still a victory. Accept it as that, and just be like, yeah, this is cool, and just take it. Even if the son of a bitch is a liar, that they don't have your best interests in mind. We know that, but take it anyway. Play along and take it anyway, and just be like, yeah, I'm gonna take this. I'm fine with this. I'm cool with this. Let's go. Yeah, sure, great. What's next? And just do that, and take advantage of that shit, and just take it. Just take it. Do yourself a favor and take advantage of that situation, and just take what is offered and be okay with it. Boom, boom, boom. And before you know it, you'll be out the fucking door in no time. So it's like, don't even, you know what I'm saying? But you have to relish each step you take and be happy with each step you take and each little victory that you hit. And, you know, let's say you open your savings account and, you know, your first goal is to put $100 in there in the next 2 months. You hit $100. Be happy with that $100. That was your goal. Don't sit there and be like, oh shit, you know, can I do this again next month? No, don't stop. Just stop doing that. That's not what this is about. This is about you being glad that you got the $100. You made your goal. Check it off your list and be happy with it and be satisfied with it. Yes, this is a humbling experience. Sometimes that's what it takes. Sometimes that's what it takes. But it's a humbling experience. But at the same time, you're being humble is going to get you to your real goal at the tail end of it, where you're the winner. So it's like, don't worry about it. Just be who you are, be that, and be glad. And take it for what it is. And you can do that with anything in your life, not just narcissistic shit. But you can do that with anything in your life. So, yeah, just hold the energy. So, I'm going to leave it at that. I think that's enough for that video. But don't mess yourself up with self-doubt and shit like that. Be okay with where you are. Be okay with the progress you have made. Keep working it every day. Take one little step towards your fucking goal. And be glad for it. And just say, you know what, yeah, this is cool. I'm making progress. And be happy with yourself with each step of the way. Each little milestone. Set one little goal. If you got to do little by little, one little thing a week, fine, do that. But be glad with what you've done. And or even if it's, like I say, something lucky, like a lot of money for your birthday, or somebody who owed you money from a long time ago suddenly paid you back and you didn't know they were going to do that. Be glad. And don't let doubts and shit get in the way. That's no way to live. That's no way to live. If you want to maintain this shit and maintain up-leveling your life and having good vibes coming at you all the time and shit, you have to keep resonating with the shit you want. You know, you're gonna have lows and shit where you're not happy or you're sad or whatever. When you're in those moments, you still deserve the shit you want. You still deserve it. So there's no use in sitting there sad and being like, you know what, no, I don't really deserve. Don't do all that. You got to rewire all this shit up here and say, no, damn it, I do deserve it, whether I'm sad or not. I deserve my paycheck even though I'm sick today and can't go into work, you know, or whatever it is. You know, you got to do. You still deserve it. So we might go deeper into that later. I don't know. I think there might be the follow-up video for this, but that's the general idea. So I hope that was helpful, and I hope that you know, put some things in perspective for you. So that's going to be it for that video. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for listening.